Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The suspect in the shooting of the American right-wing political activist Charlie Kirk has been arrested and named as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. It's thought his father persuaded him to give himself up after he confessed. Authorities had earlier released fresh footage of the gunman escaping from the roof of the building. Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck while speaking at a campus event at Utah Valley University, sparking a huge manhunt across the state.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU.
Minutes earlier, in an interview on Fox News, Donald Trump likened Charlie Kirk to a son.
A Republican never wins youth, but I won youth. I will tell you, TikTok helped me, but he helped me with TikTok. But he helped me with youth. I've never seen a person who's, in this case, older than the people we're talking about. You know, in many cases, I've never seen young people or any group go to one person like they did to Charlie. He'd go out to Arizona, to any school, to Utah, where he was, but any school, also East Coast, anywhere. And he would have bigger rallies than any radical left speaker.
Ukraine has struck Russia's largest oil terminal on the Baltic Sea during one of its biggest overnight drone attacks in months. The aerial assault targeted the Primorsk oil port in the Leningrad region, the final station of the Baltic pipeline system, and a crucial hub for Russia's maritime exports. More than half of the 221 drones sent to Russian territory were intercepted over the Bryansk and Smolensk regions, where Lukoil facilities were also reportedly targeted. Meanwhile, officials said 2 civilians were killed in Ukraine's Sumy region when a Russian glide bomb struck a village near the border. The former president of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro, has been sentenced to 27 years and 3 months in prison after being found guilty of plotting a military coup. A panel of 5 Supreme Court justices handed down the sentence just hours after they had convicted the former leader. They ruled he was guilty of leading a conspiracy aimed at keeping him in power after he lost the 2022 election to his left-wing rival, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. 4 of the justices found him guilty, with 1 voting to acquit him. Bolsonaro's lawyers have called the sentence absurdly excessive and said they would file the appropriate appeals. A major UN report has found the North Korean government is increasingly implementing the death penalty, including for people caught watching and sharing foreign films and TV dramas. The dictatorship, which remains largely cut off from the world, is also subjecting its people to more forced labor while further restricting their freedoms. The UN Human Rights Office found that over the past decade, the North Korean state had tightened control over all aspects of citizens' lives. The report, which is based on more than 300 interviews with people who escaped from North Korea in the past 10 years, found that the death penalty is being used more often. Secondary schools in 2 neighbouring towns in the Netherlands have been told to shut today because of a spate of violence involving 2 groups of young people. Mayor Martin Smit has issued a 3-day emergency order banning all gatherings of 3 or more people and designated areas as high risk to prevent potential gun use. 2 rival groups of youths have been blamed on the escalating violence, which apparently when serious damage was caused to a school last week. Police said a 22-year-old man had been arrested on suspicion of vandalism. And the Japanese government says the number of people aged 100 or older has risen to a record high of nearly 100,000. Setting a new record for the 55th year in a row, the number of centenarians in Japan was 99,763 as of September. Of that total, women accounted for an overwhelming 88%. Japan has the world's longest life expectancy and is also one of the fastest aging societies, with residents often having a healthier diet but a low birth rate. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.